This is the one gift the European descendants that settled in Africa feared the most. So much so that they killed every sangoma, or spiritual healer as you might call it, when they invaded our lands. They killed them because of their ability to see beyond the naked eye. If you're gonna invade the land, you must kill the one obstacle that will stop you. And today, white Christianity labels them as demonic. African religion is labeled demonic by every white pastor in this country, or should I say on the continent. The DA hates sangomas with a passion, acting right on brand like their ancestors. DA hates everything that is black, but how they treated their member of parliament because of the spiritual gift was nothing short of horrific. Meet Karabo Khakhau, a member of the Democratic Alliance Party, the DA, and also their member of parliament. DA member of parliament Karabo Khakhau, who is also a spiritual healer, was allegedly subjected to a disciplinary hearing where she was reprimanded by the organization's chief whip in parliament, George Mikhalakis, for sitting on the floor and burping on separate occasions when she was visited by the spirit of her ancestors in the middle of the party's caucus meeting. According to information received by a local publication, Khakhau, who is also a prophetess, calmly slipped off her shoes and sank gracefully to the floor to take a seat in the caucus meeting on May 22nd this year. Afterwards, George Mikhalakis called Karabo Khakhau in for a private discussion regarding her conduct during the meeting. A DA leader who was informed of the meeting told Sunday World, a local publication, that George Mikhalakis seemed unwilling to understand the nature of Karabo Khakhau's spiritual gifts. She was literally being disciplined, said the person who received this information, adding that Khakhau even got a warning that work was not a necessary school where people would randomly sit down.
Did you know that sangomas are spiritually chosen by their ancestors? Guided through visions, dreams, and even illness, they use bones and divination tools to connect with the spiritual world, receiving guidance from the ancestors. Herbalists at heart, sangomas are experts in using indigenous plants for powerful healing remedies. Through dancing, chanting, and rituals, they invoke the spirits for healing, protection, and guidance. Even in modern times, sangomas play a vital role, working alongside Western medicine for holistic healing. Sangomas, keepers of ancient wisdom, bridging the past and present. Discover their sacred role today.
The DA reduced this sacred gift to nursery school tendencies. The DA genuinely hates black people, and if they don't understand their way of life, their traditions, their identity, their culture, they dismiss it like it's an offense. The DA chief whip was so angry that he told Karabo that work comes before ancestors. But the problem is, you can't control when your ancestors communicate with you. It spontaneously happens. Working for the DA feels more like being on the plantation than in parliament, really. Their black members are there to harvest black votes for the DA, but the DA leaders don't consider them as nothing but servants. But in this case, I have to defend the DA. They are the most honest party we've ever had in this country, if you think about it. They act right on brand. They hate black people or anything black progressive, and we've seen it every single time they contest against the black progressive policies like the Land Without Compensation Act. Remember that? And the DA, they've never wavered on their hatred for black people. So why are we shocked that a black DA member is told to put white work above her ancestral calling? At this point, it's her fault for behaving too black in a white party, and as such, she should be punished. We are not going to deter DA of their mission, their values, and integrity. DA values white progress above all, and it wouldn't be the DA if they suddenly prioritized or even begin to accept and understand black people. White people will feel smothered in their own party. and they will leave. And they will leave, and the very fabric of what the DA is will cease to exist. Now, who is going to fund the DA? The Black community, the ancestors, the Rainbow Nation, the Nelson Mandela spirit. If anything, her ancestral attacks can be equated to the ancestors being mad at her for supporting a party that is responsible for the massacre of Black people. They'll keep on attacking her as long as she's still associated with descendants of murderers. And I wish they do this to her each and every after 2 weeks or monthly until her white colleagues kick her out. Yes. Let's discuss the Black Democratic Alliance supporter. What's going on in the head of this kind of person? The key to understanding this person is to look past his claims that he supports the DA for its policies. I mean, no sane Black person will look at any DA policy and think that's what's good for him as a Black person. Something else is shaping how this individual perceives the DA's policies, and more importantly, the party offering them. Here's how it breaks down, according to me. The DA does not explicitly run on a set of pro-white or pro-status quo policies. Instead, it frames them as neutral, good for the economy, which is just code for how to maintain the economic status quo. The party runs on a platform of fiscal discipline by promulgating, avoiding wasteful social spending, opposing expropriation without compensation, and clean governance, which is internal code for as few Blacks as possible. And lastly, meritocracy, which in a context of radically unequal starting points inherently favors the already established, the white people. Now, the prospective Black supporter listens to and watches the DA's moves and does not hear, "We will protect white wealth." She hears, "This party will manage the economy properly so it doesn't collapse. They will stop corruption or corrupt politicians from stealing my tax money. They believe in rules and order, not chaos." The subconscious reasoning of the DA supporter and its members is Black members is the country is complex. The economy is a delicate white man's machine that Black people are breaking. We need the people who originally built and managed it to keep it running. Otherwise, we will all suffer. This is what's going on in the Black person that supports the DA. So the Black DA vote is less an affirmation of that party and more a profound rejection of Black-led parties based on an inferiority complex. Yeah. This member sees corruption and service delivery failures in non-DA-led municipalities and thinks, "See, this is what happens when we are in charge. We are just like what they said we were, corrupt and incapable." This is a political act of wearing what Frantz Fanon called a white mask. The supporter is not just voting for a policy, she is voting for a perceived identity of order, competence, and trustworthiness, which has been conditioned to see as white traits. By aligning herself with this DA party, she's attempting to distance herself from the chaotic Blackness she has been taught to despise in herself and her community. Now, once again, the Black DA voter or member does not explicitly choose the DA for its pro-whiteness, but because she perceives it as the antithesis of a Black failure. To her, it represents order, competence, and trustworthiness, which are qualities she has been conditioned to believe are inherently lacking in Black leadership. Are you still with me? Let's go back. This woman, for the Black DA member, the calculation becomes a painful trade. I will accept a government that may not make me feel proud or represented, a government where the leadership doesn't look like me or understand my cultural struggles in exchange for a competent administration. Rolling my eyes. The Black DA supporter or member has internalized that his racial dignity and political representation are a luxury he cannot afford, and that the price for basic functionality is to return management to the rightful owners, aka the white people. In that sense, he is voting for what he believes is a pro-competence party, and his psychological conditioning inextricably links that competence to whiteness. A Black person in full possession of their faculties would not and could not consciously support a policy designed to explicitly promote white supremacy at their own expense. The mechanism is far more subtle and insidious. So I've said it. So this woman, I'm speaking in general about Black DA voters, Black DA members of parliament, people that support anyone that is Black and is associated to the DA. I am looking at you with that breakdown, with that analysis that you have equated efficiency to whiteness, and you are choosing that. You are trading who you are. You are trading your Blackness to that because you believe that Black leaders are incapable of running the system. That you believe that the system was actually designed by white people, and as such, we must return it back to the white owners. That's why you are there. That's why you're there. You know that the DA explicitly, promote white progression, white policies, white favored policies. You know that. And they've shown you time and time again, rejecting the Land Without Expropriation bill, telling you that you cannot burp and accept your ancestral calling, especially if you're going to be in the political party. White work above your ancestors. And you are still there. You have traded who you are for the natural order. And you have been conditioned to believe that the natural order is taking the system back to its original designers, the white people. The natural order is you have conditioned yourself into believing that the natural order is whiteness. The DA always says we will manage the economy, but they don't tell you that they will manage the white economy. They will keep the wealth, the 90% of the country's wealth, in white hands, in the minorities' hands. We are there to manage the minorities' investments and interest. That's how they keep order, because according to them, the more Black people they are in parliament or government or whatever, the more it will be hard to manage white people's interests. The more it will be hard to fight for the resources that are still in their hands. They don't want to share. That's what they mean when they say they will keep the country in order. They will stop Black politicians from corruption and stealing your tax money. Your tax money, by the way, that is going back to white people, but that's a chat for another day. Yeah. So did I analyze it correctly? Please tell me in the comment section below, did I break down what's going on in the psyche of a Black DA member or DA supporter, Black DA supporter? Did I analyze it correctly, or was I missing some few words? If I'm missing a few points, please jot them down for me in the comment section below. I'd love to discuss them on my personal YouTube channel called The Native Talk. Please go to the description box, find the link, click on the link, subscribe, and let us have a very productive discussion. We are not bashing everyone. We are not bashing any race. We are simply just asking the question and pointing out irregularities and the wide wealth gap between Black and white 30 years after democracy. So do please go to The Native Talk. The link is in the description box below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. But for now, you know what? For now, like this segment, comment, share it to your friends, and I will see you